it, so I don't have to. So I can stay around.
Oh, just make sure you mute when you get there.
I'll try to remember.
Or we're all part of this. It's a shared experience.
Yep.
Yes, we've done that, but we've had someone do that before.
So fortunately, on my cordless headset, it has instead of having a mute button that you can't tell if it's on or off, you have the mouthpiece that you raise up. So once you pass a certain point, you know it's muted. So
That's a good
Okay.
guarantee.
yep.
I know on mine it totally would say mute on, but you can never trust it because also it'd be like I walked out, walked back, and they can hear me talking, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah, I had that before, where it's like it had a button on the headset. You'd press it and like it'd turn off or turn on. So then, like the last two headsets I have, once you raise the mouthpiece past a certain point, it's muted, and I trust that more than the button.
Definitely. So, looks like Aurora needs to roll her destiny points. We
I
got
totally know how to do that.
Yeah, it's only been like 2 weeks since we gamed last.
And I've done this more. This is not at all my third time doing this.
On your character sheet,
Oh man, I'm trying to get obligation to happen and I'm rolling 98s. What's up with that?
well, if you want, you can just say it's the obligation of somebody who's not here. And
Well, even with that, I'm
did
not
for
up
that
to the
guy's name.
90s.
Yep.
I love that. The light side and dark side is in balance.
They're rolled by the people who are probably opposite of who should have it. So after all, mind control is messed up. So
our messed up mind controlists, our mentalists is like, I'll take a light side.
yep, I've convinced myself that I'm good. So that's why it's light side.
You've convinced yourself that you're good.
I mean,
Yep.
no villain is ever the villain of their story.
Yeah.
Yes. The hero of one story is the villain of thousands.
Like Thanos thought he was a great guy.
Oh yeah, he totally had a totally legitimate to him reason for why he wanted to destroy half of all living creatures everywhere.
I mean, it
He
was
just is
for
a
the
math
best.
guy.
It
He's
was
a
the
math guy, not a humanities guy.
it was a culling thing to save the population. It's like when they give out hunting tags for caribou and reindeer.
Or those like wild boars in Texas.
Yeah, oh yeah, the ones that are destroying fields. Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I clicked my roll destiny, but I don't think it.
No, you totally rolled it. You rolled a dark side. I thank you for your roll. I thank you for your
Okay,
Jedi
so
service.
Probably
I
did
had
sync.
to do it, but but Castock doesn't have to roll destiny.
I already did.
Yeah.
Where?
If you scroll up in the chat bubble section, you'll see there's a Castox totally
Is it
did a
above the
light
Gur
side.
and the Rar?
Yeah.
Yep, before the
I did it
Rar
like
and
45
Eek.
minutes ago.
What? Okay, but yours looks completely different. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Never mind. Okay, coolness.
Mine's light side and yours is dark side.
No, I was like, excuse me, what's that? All that other thing? Screw you. That's totally different than what I got.
Oh yeah. No, I was testing. I put like the plus B minus B on like one of my rolls, so I was seeing if it worked, but I can't tell if the minus B worked. So
That looks like a very complicated roll.
Well, I mean, if you'd like to
Yep.
check, I can add some blue dice. I got 2 blue dice and 2 purple dice, and 2 black dice added to the pool if you want to try it.
I'll trust it. I'll figure it out.
Okay, then I'll
So.
clear the pool. Okay. So, where were we? You know that your new job is totally legit, totally above board. It is the medical miracle. The crew has been hired to transport a shipment of life saving medical supplies to a plague stricken colony. You know that you're going to be going to meet Dr. Mekk, that's MEKK, to pick up the medical supplies, which is mostly vaccines, but also some basic medical stuff to help treat some of the folks. Conveniently, you're going to the planet Korolog, which is like the second most populated planet in the Republic. You know, it's like right next to Coruscant. You know, it's got a whole bunch of, Republic academies, some military training places. It was recently decimated in the war, but they're industrious and they're rebuilding really quickly. And you know that you're going to be delivering those to a not too far away place. It's only a 3-day trip to Ithor 2. Basically, it's the Ithorians, that big hammer-headed folks with the 2 mouths. It's a colony dedicated to spreading out their agricultural abilities. And unfortunately, there's a really nasty plague that they discovered with their terraforming on the planet. Thankfully, there's a vaccine for it, but the Ithorian plague, also known as the Rot, is a viral disease that is airborne and usually only contagious with physical contact or infected surfaces. Almost like a flu. But then again, Ithorians have those 2 mouths and they have that sonic punch vocal thing. So when a Ithorian sneezes, you duck and cover. I mean,
Gross.
they literally have the ability to knock you down with words. So when they sneeze, oh, don't be nearby. So
Okay.
you guys are slowly bringing the ship down on Kurlag. The planet is very, very favorable to your ship. You get right in the nice little, intake, outtake lines at the spaceport to land, or do you want the cargo to be brought to you in orbit? Dr. Mech will gladly go out of his way to help you out here since you are doing him a solid, and he is paying you 2,500 credits for this supposedly quick 6-day job.
I think in orbit.
Yeah, I'm good with staying in orbit. We don't need me trying to land this early in the game.
Well, and then also, if something bad happens, it's better for stuff to just go into space versus being on planet.
Yeah, well, and I mean, worst case scenario, if like one of the disease vials breaks, and we are already quarantined.
Okay, I'll arrange the drop-off in planet in space.
Okay, Dr. Mech is A-okay with that. He's like, let me know when you're in orbit, and you guys send the signal, and his little medical frigate comes floating up and extends the umbilical to your ship, and you see, as he chimes in on the radio that he'll be joining you at the airlock shortly, but his medical droids are completely sanitized. As you see in the cameras, there's like in the umbilical, there's sanitizing sprayers spraying all the droids with the containers that they're carrying on board to your ship.
It's been that episode of Doctor Who where they gets.
Okay, I'll direct them to take to the storage area.
Okay, you open that airlock, and the 4 droids are each holding a big cargo unit. It's like the size of a footlocker, and they gladly follow your directions, and they totally have on their little chest screens the monitor saying that they are 100% infection-free. And do either of you have any medical ailments?
I don't think so.
Any what?
Any medical ailments? Like any crits or anything like that?
Nope. I have not been hit.
As the lead droid will gladly tell you your current biometrics as well as your health status, which has each of you in the healthy 80% number unless you have a crit.
Nope.
I have a strain from last time. I should clear it, yeah?
Yeah, you should totally clear that. You're 100% now, as the droid is clearly giving you a perfect bill of health. Because that's what the droid does. Carries stuff and gives diagnosis.
He didn't say, "Oh, this is a sociopath. I'm lucky."
He just advised that yes, you are 100% healthy. And they kind of
Okay.
go back to grab more containers, and you're seeing like half of your cargo hold getting filled up with these containers. And they're totally locking them down to the deck with magnetic attachments, and then each container is being magnetically tethered to the one under it. They make these little stacks. And then finally the doctor comes. He has cybernetic breathing filters, sort of like, Cad Bane had, the bounty hunter, the blue-skinned guy, where it's the little tubes coming off his cheeks. Totally helps it when you're a doctor and you have air filters in your face. And he comes up and he immediately wants to go to Aurora and shake her hand to thank her for taking this job at such quick notice.
Okay. I'm going to have I'm gonna.
I think you may have broke up there.
The foot bump, where instead of shaking hands when you're dealing with contagions, you take your foot up and you like bump your shoes together, like it's like a fist bump but with your feet.
I can play.
Okay. So he kind of looks at he puts his hand out to shake, and you do the foot thing, and he's like, "Oh, yes, that is very sensible." And he puts his foot out and goes, "Boom," and then he whips out a little looks almost like breath spray, except he goes and spritzes his foot with the antiseptic. So as soon as you can get to deliver these off, the medical supplies are critically needed. So anything you can do to get there quicker, please take the fastest but safest route available. As each one of the modules here is worth its weight in Hut credits. The closest thing to gold. Because the outbreak, they need to vaccinate as many people as they can before the contagion can spread.
Who's our point of contact at our next location?
Excellent. Well, the ship's manifest has it set up so when you get there, the local regional government should be sending one of their representatives to help deal with dispensing the medications. So they'll basically be the one that hands it off to you. You may have to go through a little red tape, but if you have any problems, please contact me immediately, and I will do my best. Governor Tolk, that's Tolk, it should be the one to help, but I do know right now, currently, with the colony having the viral infection going about, he's been rather busy. And according to the last time I spoke with him, he was a little under the weather himself. Hopefully he didn't accidentally get himself exposed, but if he did, the vaccine here would still be perfect for helping him out, as well as some of the other antiviral boosters that we've packed away from them.
Okay. Is there anything that's non-medicine that I need to be aware about that we're that's mixed in that we're giving to them?
No. There's 947 ampules of the vaccine against the rot, as well as 412 ampules of viral recovery agents. Basically, it's a fancy name for electrolytes and some fluids to help boost the immune system after dealing with a horrible virus like the rot.
Okay, so it's like liquid IV or Gatorade.
Exactly. Restorex. That's the name brand that I usually use with my patients. So how many organic members of your crew will you have on board?
The two of us organics, and then I think just the one droid.
Okay, excellent.
Unless you have droids.
I hate droids.
That is
you
good.
have droids?
No, I hate droids.
Oh, well, don't fuck with mine.
If it doesn't mess with me, I'll leave it alone.
As he totally reaches into his back pocket and pulls out 2 cigar-sized cylinders and hands one to each of you and says, in the case that you may become contaminated, merely take these ampules and inject them into some fleshy part of your person, and it should give you good, broad, multi-spectrum protection against the rot or any other communicable diseases.
What symptoms are we looking for?
In regards to the rot, and he totally whips back and pulls out his little, data pad, and he says, "So the rot, the airborne virus usually incubates for 12 to 24 hours, and then begins stage 1. The early symptoms of stage 1 begin 12 to 24 hours after initial contact. Those begin with mild fever, headaches, coughing, fatigue, and general muscle soreness. After that, basically progressing to stage 2 would be the advanced symptoms. Those would begin 1 to 2 days after stage 1 has completed. And with those, you would now have severe fever, vomiting, coughing fits, difficulty breathing, and extreme fatigue. Thankfully, at this stage, it's much easier to detect the infection because, per its namesake, the rot, your muscle cramps will be accompanied with visible dark lesions that will appear on the skin. Granted, not every species will exhibit the lesions the same way, but they're fairly easy to detect at that point to see if someone is infected. Quarantine at stage 2 is very, very easy. And then stage 3 is he's literally reading it off verbatim like he's reading off a dinner recipe. Stage 3 sometimes would begin 3 to 4 days after stage 2 has completed. And the symptoms then will be commonly seen as organ failure beginning, suffering extreme pain, violent tremors, and hallucinations. Coma will often follow within hours of starting stage 3. And the way he says that is totally like a medicine commercial where they list off the oh my god side effects with like zero emotion in his face.
Side effects that are worse than the infection.
And if you would like to, take the vaccine before or during stage 1, it really doesn't do much for anyone in stage 3 at that point. But if you manage to take it, it will help your immune system resist the rot, so to speak.
Is there any benefit to taking it before exposure?
The vaccine has short-term effects. I would recommend not taking it any more than 24 hours before any exposure.
We won't know. Okay.
Any further in advance, and some kind of other infection in your system may deplete its abilities.
Okay.
And it's merely as a precaution. It's highly unlikely that you will actually come into contact with anyone that is infected. The governor has promised he has his best people working on this, and everyone should be making sure to follow all of the safety protocols. And he totally on his data pad like swipes to you, and you get an email that's got like the 999 protocols for Republic health, HMO, or WHO, I should say, for how to deal with infectious, colonies and how not to spread from planet to planet.
Okay. So, when we get there, I'm gonna say that we're gonna do the same thing probably, and not drop on the planet and hang out in space. Yeah.
As long as they can come get it from space, I'm good with that. And there's nothing in space that we need to get away from.
Valid.
And he's like,
Okay.
that should be fine. I don't see Governor Toluca having any issues with that. If you'd like, and he swipes his pad towards you, and you get the contact information for the governor as well. His people will definitely have the situation well secured and under control by then, as long as you have no delays.
All right. Well, then let's not delay. You ready to hit the road?
Yep.
Sweet.
Is your droid going to put in the coordinates?
Yes. As long as they've been loaded into my droid, and if not, I can load them in, and he's good to go.
Okay, so are you going to have the droid assist you for a blue on top of your skill, or are you going to just trust your droid skill? See how I scare you by saying that?
And this is my astromeching skill, or no?
Astrogation,
My
yeah.
astrogation.
And you're totally getting a blue because he's giving you the updated coordinates.
Yeah, so then I will not just trust him to do everything.
Okay.
Not a lazy captain.
Okay, go ahead and give me your astrogation roll. And you do have a light side if you want to use it.
Looks like I did good.
Looks like you did great. Okay, so the doctor gets his droids off after your ship is full. It's got like 18 towers. You know, it looks like you have pillars inside your cargo hold that you can walk around. And he basically says, "Safe travels, my friends, and let me know once you've delivered the cargo." And he gets into his little medical frigate.
Do we get paid before we leave, or does it payment on delivery?
It should be payment on delivery, but you know what? I trust you. And he comes over with his little data stick he pulls out of his doctor's table and goes click. And he says, you've been paid the 2,500 credits. Just be aware if there happens to be any issues in delivery, any fines or reductions will be presented as a future bill at that time.
All right. Got it. I won't pay you till the end of the mission then.
Well, he just paid you.
No, I was telling
Oh.
Castix that I won't pay him till we get unloaded.
No worries.
You know I'm good for it. So off we go.
Yep.
Okay, so you get in. You and your droid totally have the astrogation check all ready to go. It's going to be a quick little 3-day trip, and you sit in your seats, break out of orbit's gravity well, and into hyperspace. You hear a slight hum of the cargo in there. Nothing really major going on. What are you going to do during your 3-day break?
About the weather, whatever sports ball teams are doing well. You know.
Did you just call them sports balls? I think that just makes you one of my new favorite people.
Well, in Star Wars, I don't know what they're really called, but
that's what I call them in not Star Wars. So.
Yep. I use real names in real life. I use real names for them, and I watch them often. At least football, but the other ones I don't watch very much.
That's my least favorite sports ball. Everything's either sports ball or hockey to me. So.
Yep, hockey's getting better to watch, but once you know more of the rules, so. But nothing out of the ordinary. And every so often, go back, check on the cargo, make sure that it's staying where it's supposed to be. Nothing's happened to it. Check our progress along the way. But I'm not very computer, so I probably don't have a clue of where we're actually going. So.
And
I'm playing chess with my droid, walking through, making sure nothing's weird, checking all the stuffs, just checking on my ship.
As you take your nap, the droid goes over and checks the astrogation and says, he gives you the thumbs up. We're right on schedule to get there.
All right.
You get the next morning when you wake up, you have your calf and your breakfast, and you're like, okay, astrogation says we should be there in about 2 hours. And you park in your seat, your droid buddy parks with you there, and you hear the klaxon going whoop 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 whoop, that it's time for you to come out of hyperspace. And you come out of hyperspace,
and the planet's gone, burned to pieces.
And what
Blew
should
up the planet again?
what should be a grassy little colony world with soft rolling mountains and blue water and soft gentle clouds is totally a frozen ice planet with a beacon saying mining claim 8476663, and your droid totally does the droid equivalent of a huh and scratches his head with one of his teeny tiny little arms.
Well, you can't trust droids.
I don't think
Took
this
us to
is
the wrong
droid
planet.
that we can't trust. I think we got scammed on location.
And immediately, if you want to scan, you get the ping back giving you the location you're currently at. And give me a... Don't roll yet. Let me get your difficulty on there. Give me a average astrogation. And I'll still give you a blue since you were given those coordinates. As you look and you go, huh, we took a wrong turn at Coruscant. As you realize you went like 45 degrees shy of the direction you should have. And your little droid
so much
totally
for saving time.
Totally gives you a...
I'm gonna throw my chancla at you.
As that's totally him saying, but I checked the coordinates. How could we be at the wrong place? That was that little roll I did there. Was one of the knights. While he was on duty, he checked your math, and it was A-okay.
Oh, we checked my math. That's the problem.
So with that
okay,
success,
well, I guess let's put the...
Oh, go ahead.
coordinates. Oh, I say, all right, well, then I guess let's put in the real right coordinates and try it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much time did we lose?
You basically, it's been the 3 days, and he expected you to be there roughly on the 4th day if you were traveling at normal speed, being super safe, you know. And you were going for a little bit of a reckless trip to make it quicker, but you have 1 day before, you know, the death toll starts cranking and people are realizing, hey, the vaccines have not made it. They were sent from Kurlog, but no one has got to our planets. Would you like to use that advantage?
Okay, so we have a day before we're mass murderers. Got it.
So if you can, I'm looking for either 3 advantage or 3 successes on this next check to cut the time by going shortcutty. Would you like to use that advantage you rolled to give you a blue dice to your check?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a blue dice.
A destiny point.
I mean,
what
anybody can click it.
You want to spend a destiny point to upgrade your roll?
Sure.
So I've got a blue for your droid assisting, as he's insisting that you messed it up, not him. His math is always good. A blue for the charts they provided for you. And a blue from that advantage. And if somebody wants to click the use light side, I will totally put an upgrade in there for you.
Oh, it looks like he already did. Okay.
Yep. So I've got your dice pool ready. As you're just like, oh crap, we're gonna be late.
All right, and is this another astromech?
This is another astrogation.
Astrogation.
Yep, they make the tongue twisty words. Hey. So if you would like to use those 3 advantages, I will say that you will show up within the 4th day. A few minutes late, but nobody will know that there's any problem, even though you're coming from a different direction.
I say that sounds like an excellent plan.
Okay. As you jump in your seat, do this, twist the cockpit, do the math, your droid gives you a salute that we have the math done right. You put in the numbers and you bolt out of this mining colony's space as they're just like, what was that all about? And you go back to hyperspace and you have an ETA of roughly 24 hours to get there. Are you going to call ahead or just call when you get there?
I'll call. I mean, that's polite. Be like, hey, just so you know, we're coming. This is our estimated ETA. We'll let you know when we're closer.
Okay, so you're calling the planetary governor's office?
Yes,
Yep.
if that's contact information I
Yep.
have.
And Tolk's assistant and attaché gladly answers the phone. He's a big Athorian, and as he talks, they've got that double voice where you're hearing both their mouths talking at once, so it has this like deep reverb going on when he talks. And he says, Governor Tolk is currently disposed. Is this in regards to vaccine shipments?
Yes, we're about 24 hours to 26 hours away.
Excellent. I will reach out to the medical team to make sure they have someone to meet you who can test the validity of the vaccine as well as the medical supplies and safely unload them. Do you have any special requests?
Since you are dealing with a deadly pandemic, we would like someone to meet us in orbit, unless it is vital that we come down to the planet for you.
Our current quarantine protocols would require you to land and then stay quarantined for 5 days before departing. Are you wishing to circumvent them from a certain point of view and stay in orbit for that time?
What do you think? Do we want to have 5 days on this planet?
It's probably more exciting than sitting in space for 5 days.
Yeah, it's okay. If there's a 5-day quarantine, we will land on your planet because we would rather. We've been on our ship for a few days. It would be nice to have a change of scenery.
Ah, excellent. We will reserve, and he sends you coordinates for this landing pad that's basically like a quarter mile of nothing, so that way you're nice and secluded. We will have any repair droids or refueling droids available for your ship as well that have been thoroughly decontaminated. Once you
Ooh,
land,
that would be. Go ahead. Sorry.
once you land, we will send the group to get the medical supplies from you.
Sounds
Please
like a
notify.
plan. I'm so glad that we're gonna have repair droids and gas droids if we need them.
Thank you so much. It's the least we can do for bringing such vital medicines to our people. You don't understand how the rot has affected our people. We have lost, and for an authority, he makes a sad face. We have lost so many so far. Mostly the elderly, the wisest among us.
Well, we are glad to be able to help.
And one of you guys give me a perception or a vigilance roll.
I can do vigilance. I'm good at that.
Sounds good to me.
Let me know if the pool's set.
Yep, you're good to go. As you totally notice, as he's talking, he made like a sniffle, and he coughed, and when he lifted his big Athorian arm, because they got that dark, pulled tight skin, you totally notice that under his arm, when he covered the cough, he totally has a lesion starting, showing that he is definitely in stage 2 at least.
Does he know this?
You probably think he does, unless you want to ask him.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, did you vaccinate for this? Because you look like you were infected.
And then the attaché looks at his arm and he holds his elbow up to show the arm and he's like, I am sorry if this offends you. Unfortunately, the governor came down sick, and I must have come into contact with him while he was infectious. Currently, we have not enough vaccines for everyone, so I put myself at the bottom of the list. I should be okay as long as you can get here in time.
Please rest and take care of yourself while waiting for us to show up.
Go get
Thank
some
you.
Gatorade and Restorex, and
Thank you.
try to tell them as much as what I can remember from the doctor.
And then all of a sudden he just like goes off in this Arthurian, spiel that he's saying something about, may the life giver keep you alive and safe. You are saints for doing this for his people. And he gives this like gurgled coughing song from the Arthurians that they would sing to like heroes and saviors. As you can see, he's getting kind of like loopy as he's talking to guys, and he basically says he will have the assembly ready for you when you get here. Just contact him on this channel.
Sounds excellent.
You're just like, dude, what kind of shape are you in? Are you okay?
Yeah, you should probably go take a nap. Stop singing.
Yeah.
And as you guys are finishing the uneventful stretch to get there in the original 4 days, plus like an hour or two, so it's not like noticeable. Nobody maybe died of the horrible rot, because of the delay. You're fine.
Except maybe the attaché, no big.
Or the governor. And as you pop out of the hyperspace right on time, you realize, yes, you are at the exact correct place. You realize that you are at this beautiful planet. It's very, some would almost say very back to nature. Because it's a very unindustrial planet. As I say words to stall as I'm bringing up a picture. And then dropping you guys over there. Somebody wanted backdrops.
Okay, so we'll have a pretty place to hang out while we're on quarantine. Ooh, it's like an unpolluted version of Earth.
And as soon as you get there, you totally see on the display three big city ships. Which, if this is the first time you've seen an Arthurian city ship, they're basically a giant donut kind of flying saucer city that floats on repulsors and hovers over the planet to not disturb the natural ecosystem. And there's three tiny, tiny ones floating around the continent here. And you clearly see that there's one of them that has a big warning, caution mark saying quarantine, do not approach without contacting previously. And the other two are like, quarantine procedures, you have to stay quarantined 5 days before coming into contact with our cities.
Okay, but the lands are pretty anyways, so I'm good with quarantine.
Yeah, they totally gave you a nice clear field to park yourself that's close to the quarantine city ship, but not too close. Are you gonna head down there, or are you gonna make contact first? It's totally up to you guys.
Well, we said we'd
Thanks,
let them know
Governor.
when we got there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should let them know that we got there.
Okay. Are you using just...
I'm emotionally involved with that guy not dying.
Aww. Are you using video or just audio when you communicate?
I'm using video. We are in quarantine land. I want to see who I'm talking to.
Okay. So as soon as you make contact, all of a sudden the screen kind of fuzzes for a second, and then you get the response there. As immediately you're looking at a blue Doro. They're those blue face guys that look almost like the little gray men with the big red eyes. And he seems to be wearing a very nice dress suit. And obviously, he's got a quarantine mask on, so you see the little blue force field around his face as it shimmers with the air. As
You're different.
he totally looks at you and says, "Ah, excellent. Are you the cargo supply group that's bringing us the vaccines?"
Yes, we are.
Excellent. I am Melko Theron. I have been appointed by the Athorian government here to be the resident expert in dispensing the vaccines and medical supplies. I am, of course, a representative of Vortex Megacorp, and I will be the one that you will be providing the supplies to.
It seemed like he's telling the truth.
Can we roll for perception?
I will totally take a vigilance versus his deception skill if he was lying.
Okay.
No.
Have vigilance.
My vigilance is 1 yellow, 1 green, which I feel is not good compared to other things I have.
2 yellow, 2 green, and a boost.
Sounds like you're better.
The pool is set.
The pool is set. As immediately Castix is like, your eyes just squint because this charming Duros is being super charming, and you're realizing, wait a minute, these are Republic relief aids, and they're going to someone who worked for a megacorp. Because we all know in Star Wars the corps are all evil.
Yep.
But just in Star Wars?
Just in Star Wars, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Just in Star Wars.
And you definitely get the idea that there is some conflict of interest there. But it could be he's the only one left in charge that has the capability to do the thing. I mean, that could totally be a thing. But you're pretty sure he's holding something back as you take 1 point of strain for that threat.
Can we talk to the last guy that we talked to? I forgot his name.
The governor's, the provincial governor's attaché.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he seems to be under the weather and is currently quarantined. And you definitely, with those 3 successes, pick up that he's not saying everything. He's withholding something.
If he's quarantined, we can still talk to him through the holo projector.
Yeah, just transfer us to his room.
Very well, very well. So have you landed yet? And he totally gives you this dismissive push of the, what's your ETA if you haven't landed yet?
Nope, we haven't landed yet. Where's the guy we talked to yesterday?
I will gladly connect you over to him if he is available to assist you. When should we expect you? I believe the ETA was any day now, correct?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a slowdown, so I don't really have an exact ETA for you right now.
And he his big Duro eyes kind of get squinty on you as he's like, "Ah."
And I squint back.
And he says, 1 moment, please, while I connect you over to the governor's office. And he waves his hand over the little display there, and the screen gets staticky, and you totally get the governor's normal voicemail answering that currently we cannot come to the view screen right now. But then there's a hiss and a little fuzz of the call being redirected, and immediately you see the Athorian gets up with his 2 mouths, coughing with some phlegm in them, And it's the attaché that spoke to you earlier, and he says, excellent, excellent, Aurora, have you arrived with the vaccines?
Is this line secure?
As secure as could be expected.
What is the name of the person that you're having us come meet, or that's going to come? Who's in charge of your gathering collection?
And he just one moment, and you see him like roll over and grab his data pad off the table, and he's just like, we were going to have you speak with our head virologist, but unfortunately he has come down ill. I do see, and he totally does some ticker tack on the pad, that we have a trained physician by the name of Melko Theron. He is a well-trained medical professional and Duros. He will be assisting in dispensing the drugs under the Inspector General's discretion.
Hey, Castox, is that the name of the guy we just talked to?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is he trustworthy? He doesn't seem very trustworthy.
I unfortunately have no dealings with him. His company Vortex Medical has worked with the governor in the past, but I personally have no knowledge of their dealings.
How can we make sure that you get the medicine that you need and the governor needs?
And he seems very, very thoughtful for a second, trying to decide how best. And then all of a sudden he breaks into a Thorian and starts talking about some story, saying, "Tell me about the rabbit's daddy," in a Thorian. And obviously he seems really out of it.
All right. Well,
do me
looks
a
like we get
favor
to.
and give me a coercion, or I'll take charm or deception. As you're
I'm good
trying
at
to
coercion.
convince him to, like, hey, focus on me.
Yep.
Focus and tell me the words.
Yeah.
Because
you don't got time to die yet. Give me the answer I want.
And because
I'll
I
kill you
have all the
myself.
dark side points, I'll have to spend one.
Okay. Let me know if the pool's ready.
The pool is ready. As you look at him, Castox, and you're just like, focus, look at me, and you do the hand gesture of look into my eyes. He gives a couple different coughs. And what would you like for those 2 advantages as he starts hallucinating?
That he gets rest after our conversation's done and doesn't die.
Okay, so he will recover the 2 strain after he's telling his father a story about the fuzzy rabbits. And for that despair, immediately his signal drops. Like he must have hit a button on his communicator and turned off his communicator while coughing by accident, as you can't reconnect to his line. He's obviously in a bad place.
I think that Duros has cut the signal. I don't trust him.
Ooh.
I don't either.
Do you think we should just land at the capital where the governor and the attaché are?
I think that's the best.
And ignore their landing pad?
Yes, definitely. And then we can oversee the delivery of the vaccine. We are probably going to have to end up using our own doses ourselves. Do we have any of those quarantine mask suits ourselves on board? Do you know? Did they give us any?
They did not provide any.
Okay, so then yeah, we're gonna have to borrow some once we land.
Oh, we can take the one that he gave us. I didn't pay attention. The one he gave us, was that a proactive one?
No,
vaccines?
So we can't take our doses yet, but we're gonna have to. We're probably gonna have to take our doses almost as soon as we interact with our first people. But we're gonna need to get some masks, some quarantine masks, once we land from the office.
Yep.
And you
Okay.
can totally take the vaccines now before you land, since you are over the planet. I mean, within an hour you'll be planet side.
Okay.
So you could shoot
Let's
up
do
if
that.
you want.
So we'll do it basically once right before you go down the ramp.
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as right before we open the doors.
So do me a favor, somebody give me a quick computers roll, because you want to park right outside the governor's front lawn, right?
Yes. My computers is 1 yellow, 1 green.
And you're
But
totally
it says
getting.
it's part of my career.
Yep, it means it's cheaper for you to spend experience to level it up.
Mm.
If you choose
Mine's
to
2
level it
green,
up.
so go for it.
As you're like,
Okay.
you're seeing the city ships got all these warnings saying, "Do not come here, stay away, park away because quarantine," and you're just like, "What's the governor's address in the computer system?"
Okay, are you ready for me to roll?
I am ready for you to roll. You do a quick HoloNet Google search, and you're like, "Aha! There's a landing pad not too far from his residence. We can totally go right there." And as you're pointing your finger on the map, the quarantine word is scrolling across the tip of your finger multiple times, giving you one strain. As you're just like, hold on, and you take the stick and you pilot your ship through there, as you're getting like multiple quarantine messages saying, "Please do not land. Please do not leave your ship. We are under quarantine," yada, yada, yada. And as you land the ship and the smoke and the fog's coming off the landing gear and your landing ramp is going down, are you both going to inject yourselves?
Yes.
These are totally like Trulicity. You just stick yourself and take your medicine. Both the hypos go, which by the way will totally give you a blue and an upgrade against any resilience checks for contamination for 24 hours.
Nice.
If only I had the next level of the enhanced power to add my force dice.
Ooh,
Then I wouldn't
then
worry about them.
Then you would just use the force to get rid of it.
Yep. Don't worry. I trust the force. I'm one with the force, and the force is with me.
What I want to do is also before like a little pre-shot is like have like a case of medicine in my hands while we go off and run towards the governor's office or his home.
Aww. And as you see the ramp coming down, and you see this beautiful, there's plants everywhere, giant bonsais. They look like bonsai trees, but they're massive size. And as soon as the ramp is coming down, there's an Athorian in some kind of medical garb with this double mask thing, since his mouths are on the side of his face, and he's waving at you to stop. We are quarantined. Stop. And he's like bellowing this loud that like 100 feet away you can clearly hear his words, as he's using his speak very loudly voice. And as
His
he's
big boy
waving
voice.
for you guys to stay on your ship and stay safe, let's take a quick 5-minute break.
Okay.
Because now it's time for the
Okay.
GM to need to use the restroom. So I shall be right back while you guys plot.
Lot.
I mean, you're going to come up with a plan, right? At least 12%?
I mean, my plan is to
work out, because kind of the same thing. If I go get him at 3:30, I'm probably not going to leave my house at 4:30. So
Oh, that's a good way of making sure it happens.
My kiddo, he has Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's at school till 8, but his school is near my work, and neither of those places are near my house.
Oh. And being there till 8, that's crazy.
Well, it's because on Tuesdays he has D&D club, and then he has robotics. On Thursdays he actually gets to hang out at his grandparents for a little bit, because robotics is from 6 to 8, and he doesn't have a club right after school like he does on Tuesdays. But that's still a really long day.
Hey, you had me at D&D club at school. I mean...
Yep.
Right?
Never mind then. That's not bad at all. Being in there till 8 o'clock. That's great.
No. Well, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday they took apart their robot that just won 2 competitions in a row, and they're gonna be putting together they're like Frankensteining it to build their new one. But tomorrow, I believe they are oh, what do you call it? Oh, they're having like a rest day at their club, so they're just gonna watch a movie.
There you go.
I think they're gonna watch one of the Batmans because I guess one of the club members is obsessed with Batman.
I was gonna
Cool.
say, you know what movie they should watch is The Short Circuit.
No, I don't know what that movie
Five.
is.
Oh my God! You need to watch Short Circuit. It's this really funny movie where Johnny Five is the robot who gets sentience, and he
Wait.
says, "No disassemble."
I know Johnny Five.
You know Johnny Five.
Johnny 5 is live.
Yep.
Yes.
No
I was
disassemble.
gonna say.
Yep.
Short Circuit 1 and Short Circuit 2. Classic 80s sci-fi. Where the robot is actually not out to kill you.
Ah. Now that you're back, I have to go potty too.
Obviously, you had the vaccines in your hand, and the ramp went down, and the guy's saying, "Stay in the ship! Stay in the ship!" You look over at your partner, and you're like, "I gotta go to the refresher."
I need a drink.
Like, don't worry, I got this.
That's how you sanitize.
I can do the magic finger. It's okay. We're good. Carry on. Don't worry, we will be okay. Take us cheerleader.
As the guy's running very slowly, wheezily going.
Yep.
Sure, I'm healthy, but I'm not built for speed. I'm 7 feet tall with mouths on both sides of my head. I was not engineered to be a fast creature. Look at my toes. I have elephant feet.
If feet at all. Oh yeah, elephant feet. Yep.
Yeah, they're like 3 big toes and a heel.
Yep.
Good old Thorians.
Yeah, they just look too stupid. Like, even like when watching like the cartoons,
Uh-huh.
they always look horrible. I'm like,
I
I can't get on board with them.
In the the really cheesy first series of Clone Wars cartoons, they looked really bad.
Yep.
But I have to give them credit. In the Clone Wars, when they made the younglings, the Thorian kids looked really cute.
Yeah, that one was better. I think they've had, or was it in you saw the Bad Batch? They brought the Wookiee back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're making sure to try to bring back as much legacy stuff as they can, which is great.
Yep.
I mean, technically, we might be seeing who knows who in the new Mandalorian movie when that starts next year.
And then like their next one is Skeleton Crew. I don't know much about.
Skeleton Crew will be starting this December. Yeah,
Yep.
according to the super secret leaked stuff, it's gonna be post Empire, with the Republic starting to build. There's gonna be a planet that has some kind of resource, but it's not on the Republic or the Empire's radar right now. They've managed to keep themselves hidden. And the Skeleton Crew is a bunch of kids on a transport ship that the parents are worried will give away the location of their home planet.
Yep.
So it's going to be a very, very YA style. Here are a bunch of children on a spaceship. Don't fuck it up, kids.
Yeah, they described it as like Goonies in space.
Yeah. Or I joked, if you've seen on Sci-Fi the new Ark show, totally has that same feel. The command crew on a colonist ship all get killed by an mysterious accident, and it's
Mhm.
all the teenagers who take over, and it has that very 90s Nickelodeon kid show feel,
Okay.
and it's literally the problem of the week. These poor guys can never get 1 week where there is not some major catastrophe on their colony ship.
Yep. As long as it doesn't have the Lord of the Flies vibe, then it's okay.
Yep, it never got that bad, fortunately. Except there is one episode where they find out that clones are a thing, and
Mhm.
second generation clones are kind of have issues, but third generation clones are psychotics. So third generation clones are basically Reavers.
Oh, okay.
And you find that out because they end up stumbling across another colony ship that crash landed that had second and third generation clones that were at war with each other.
Mhm.
Whereas, their ship is just like, clones should treat clones with kindness, even though they're not actual people. But then you find out in the series, one of the chicks in charge is a clone. So they kind of kibosh clones are not people rule. And, when your captain is a clone, you totally acknowledge clone rights.
Yep. That's one of the things they did, like in the last season of the Bad Batch. They showed like one of the senators on planet fighting for clone rights, and
Yeah. Because we all saw what the Empire did to their clones. They treated them like crap.
yeah. Well, that's why they had them. That's why they picked clones, so people wouldn't care what happened to them. Same reason why the Separatists picked droids.
Yep. Because they're not real people, right?
Not real people. Yep.
I mean, just because they're becoming 80-year-old people in 20 years.
Yep.
If they're grown in a lab, that means that they're not real.
Yeah.
Like the creepy meat.
And if they all look the same, then they definitely can't be real.
That's even
Yeah,
more
then they
creepy.
match the robots.
Yep.
They're just smarter robots.
They're just better trained robots. Yep.
But
they're totally not at all slaves at all.
I mean, especially after you blew up Kamino. So the fact that Kamino doesn't exist for real.
Yep. All right. Well, we will approach the guy.
Are we ready to bum rush?
So I was going to walk up and I was going to use my control motion belief to tell him that we are supposed to be here. We're here to help your governor. Take us to him. And so for him to believe something to be true.
And
I like that so much better than my plan.
It's an opposed discipline check.
Oh, this is slightly embarrassing. Okay, I've got this guy's discipline in there. I'm giving you a blue because he's winded and not feeling all that good, so his discipline's going to be down a notch. Giving you a blue.
Okay, cool.
As immediately you feel his defenses are down, he is exhausted, he's tired, he's been doing doctor shit 24/7. And what would you like for that advantage and triumph you've got there?
If you have a spare mask for me and my companion, we would appreciate one as we go to save your governor.
He immediately like whips around a fanny pack you didn't even notice was there, and he's just like, "Here, I have these." And he gestures if it's okay to touch you to put it on you guys.
Sure.
And
I nod yes as well.
Click, and he puts both of these collars on you guys that have little fancy thick modules on the sides, and he says, "Push right here." And as soon as you push, you see this little staticky shield pop up in a bubble around your head. And he says that should protect you from microbes up to 0.000049.
Okay, and I will spend my extra light side points to make him believe it to be true for the next 45 minutes.
And he immediately his eyes shine at you. He's just like, "You're here to help the governor."
Yep. Take us to him.
He eats up that influence.
And the attaché. I poke my head up. I raise my finger and point and say that out loud as we're walking.
Ah, excellent, excellent. The attaché's family would be in the governor's residence as well. And then he basically gestures for you guys to hurry up and follow him, as even though you guys are running at twice his speed. As he
Okay.
gets to the door of this building, and there's this big holographic quarantine symbol on the door, and he goes boop 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 beep, and the doors go shoo and open, even though the quarantine hologram is still floating in the air there. As he says, "Quickly, we should get off the streets before someone sees us."
Okay.
Not
Lead
a
the way.
problem.
And as you're getting in the building, one of you guys give me a vigilance check.
Okay,
Let's
I can do that.
see.
Got 2 yellow, 2 green, and a boost.
I'm pretty sure that's better than what I got.
So if you're ready,
Yes.
Yep, I'm ready.
2 successes, but 3 threats.
Mmm.
Then
So-
I'll use one of the light side points to, because I have ebb flow. I'll use one of
Okay.
the light side points to heal my strain.
Okay. So as you guys are crossing into the threshold of the door, you hear this cavalcade of vehicles coming. And you kind of like lean out of the door and you look and you see these 3 hover vehicles like hauling ass to get to your location. They're not there yet, but apparently you clearly see on the side of the smaller vehicle that happens to be in the lead that it has a company logo that you squint your eyes to see. And it definitely looks like the logo you were expecting to see there.
Do I
As
have like a really
Vortex-
cool like button that I can like press to shut my the ship cargo doors that we came out of?
Unfortunately, you have not bought that attachment yet.
Well, I'm gonna add that to my shopping list.
But you
Luckily,
do
we have.
You do conveniently
It's a
have a
case already.
droid on board the ship.
Okay, let me send a message to him, to my droid, asking him to shut the cargo bay doors.
Okay, what do you tell him?
Hey, there we have some unwanted visitors. Can you seal up the ship until we come back?
And you totally get the as you look back at your ship and you see the ramp is slowly retracting back into the ship.
All right, well that's the best I can do from there, and I guess it's time to be quick inside. And I'm glad that we have a case with us.
Okay, and the old boy, totally takes you up to the lift and says, "What's going on out there? Why are you securing your ship?"
Well, we have life-saving medicine on board. We don't want just anyone to take it. We want to make sure that it gets to the people.
Very, very prudent. Very prudent. Well, that is a good point you have there. That is very prudent.
Yep, this is not an opportunity for corporations to become rich off of the deaths of others. This is a rescue mission.
Ooh, fancy you say that. Do me a favor and give me a charm or coercion.
Let's see, what do I have?
Look at you dropping names like that and things.
I mean, they both look about the same, so I think I like the word charm better than I like the word coercion.
If I assist you, I can assist you better with coercion than with charm. So
Well,
I
then
have
it
4.
looks like I like the word coercion better than I like the word charm.
Or if you want, I can make it. Can you use my pool? Can she? Okay. Can you use my pool, or she can take my stats?
So yeah, you could blend together your skills. So which skill are you using there, Megan? What's a roll you're doing?
So I have 4 willpower. So if you have any ranks in coercion, it start at 4 green, and then if you have any ranks in coercion, you'd upgrade.
I have 2 green in both.
Okay. So you go to 4 green if you do coercion.
Okay.
As your partner's looking at you and he's like, "Nyeh, nyeh," head gesture of you need to tell this guy what's what, as opposed to being your charming self.
This is a
Okay,
critical
so
situation.
so
Being direct to
if
the
I'm
point is the best approach.
understanding correctly, with this being my 3rd time in this complicated system, the top the green go up to?
So he would be adding 2 more green dice to your dice pool, and I'll totally do it on my end for you.
That sounds even better.
So you're gonna go with the coercion?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just
Apparently
adding.
he doesn't think I can be charming and serious at the same time.
As he totally tries to assist you, and he's like, "If you're charming, I can't assist that because I don't do charm." And I will give you a blue dice because this guy is totally knowing that yes, you are here to save the governor because you said words, and those words said we are saving the governor.
All right. So, am I good to roll?
You're good to roll.
Do.
Oh my god, what just happened?
I think those are all good things, yeah? Or no? Yeah.
All
You
advantages,
didn't
but no successes.
succeed, but you have 4 advantages. As he apparently did not catch your drift when you were name dropping that this shouldn't go to corporations, he was just like, come on, we gotta go see the governor. So he was just like distracted and in a hurry that he didn't catch your drift. But nothing bad happened, at least.
Okay.
What would
And I
you
have
like
4
for
advantages?
those 4 advantages? Yep. Could always take like an extra a free maneuver to move even faster. You skip in past him and hit the elevator button to make it go faster.
Is there anyone else that we could possibly have overheard? Because this affects unexpected subjects beyond the original target.
Unfortunately, not at the moment. Until you guys get up there, he's the only one that you can work with.
Okay, well then I guess. Oh, I don't have to use all 4 the second, right?
Well, usually you'd want to pitch it up for hey, I'm gonna give the next one of us to go for 3 of them and upgrade. So it's almost like spending a story point. Unfortunately, they don't last past the skill check here. So something you said did something advantageous, but not successfully talking to this guy. And it's totally because he's probably doing the whole nutty professor thing. And he's talking about, the vaccines and how they work. And he's trying to explain to you the science. And you're just like, shut up and get us there, dude.
Okay, so then, yeah, I guess we'll just get, he understands the urgency but not the words, so I guess we just get there, he, uses, the boost on the elevator.
He pulls out his little ID badge and scans it, and the elevator doubles in speed. Hold on! As the elevator goes, zoop, and it opens up, and you see what looks like a living room, but all the furniture has been pushed to the walls, and there's 6 cots that have been spread out with Sycothorians with little IV machines and droids that have little gentle paddles for hands massaging their bodies, tending to them. Little cute tiny droids. They look like little pygmies floating around touching their patients.
Aww.
It's almost like the one that gave birth to Luke and Leia, but cuter and smaller.
Aww.
Hopefully none of these Athorians lose the will to live.
No, we're here to fix that. Can I ask our friend if the attaché is in this room? Or do I see him?
He is over there, and he clearly points to the other wing of the doors that are there, that he's about 4 doors down. Did you
over
did
there.
you think that we should see him first, or should we go strictly to the governor?
What's
Who
if you
got sick
was it?
first?
I'll take it. I'll take a dose for the governor if you want to go to the attaché.
Okay, split up. I like that.
Ooh, splitting the party. I always like that.
I always like that. It's my favorite song to ignore.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys are splitting up as you know these sick people. They're coughing. You see your mask is like has this haze of things that the mask is keeping you safe from. For all intents and purposes, you cheaters with your masks. Who knew masking worked? And then, as you're working your way through the sick people to get to where the governor's room is, you clearly see there's a serving droid standing there, you know, coming out of the governor's room with half empty drink that looks all green and algae like. And the medical guy and your captain is running to the attaché's room. Who's going first?
I
I'll
mean, it
go
doesn't
first.
matter to me. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So immediately, you know, the butler droid opens the door as you approach, and you hear the dual mouths of the Athorian coughing as it's this reverb of as the butler says, I apologize, the governor seems to be out of sorts. You may wish to respect the quarantine as you seem to be unaffected by the current
Shut
viral
up, droid.
outbreak. And as you say,
Shut up, droid.
shut
Get
up,
out of the way.
droid, and he just like, how rude, as you run into the room. It must
Yep.
be vitally important. And he continues talking to the air and then lets go of the door so it swings to a close. As the governor is just like in a pool of his sweat. He's definitely sick in these sheets. His eyes are kind of doing crazy shit. And what are you going to do?
Go over and give him the antidote
The vaccine?
or the vaccine.
Okay. So as you go up to him and you peel back the sheets, you notice he's got a bunch of sores across his body, and you're totally going to just jab him with the needle. In addition to the needle, do you want to do a medicine check?
Sure.
Okay. As you hit him with the needle and it goes, there's that little tiny view window where you can see the air bubbles going in and the liquid going out, so you know it's working. And the governor makes some excruciating breathing noises with some deep wheezes. Go ahead and give me your medicine check.
Okay. Do I get any boost from the description of the symptoms from the doctor before we left?
I will totally give you, as you recall the different stages, you know for sure he is in like the later stages of stage 1, and you totally
Okay.
got me talking to use an upgrade as well. Well played. I've got your
Yeah.
upgrade 2 blue against 3 purple and a black.
All right.
As you give him the vaccine, and he kind of gives out this wheezy cough. And as what would you like for those 3 advantages before I tell you what those 3 failures will get you?
That uh hmm, that he that I'm carrying enough of the vaccines for anybody else who's in the room. So
Okay,
if his
yeah,
family's there or
you totally have enough of the 6 people in the cots. So
okay.
as you inject him and you're just like, live, he seems very unresponsive. You know, his condition must be that bad that he doesn't seem to be responding, you know, immediately. Or it could be the vaccine takes time. Hopefully he has enough time. And then you just kind of like shrug with him being unresponsive and just go start shooting people up.
Yeah. I'll kind of if people like are questioning me, I'm like, hey, it takes a while to it takes a little bit of time to take effect as it flows through the flows through the blood to start fighting the disease, and whether I have to lie to or not with deception. If the other people can test it, I'll kind of continue my lie of how it works, and so to get the other people to accept it.
Oh, they'll gladly accept it. All you have to say is
Yep.
vaccine, and they're just like
Yep.
rolling up legs and sleeves and saying, "One for me, please."
Okay. I'll go and administer it to everybody there.
Even though you totally give them Captain Dummy Talk medicine words.
Yep.
You're basically reading the syringe things, saying it kind of verbatim if the words are being pronounced exactly right. Obviously,
Oh,
somebody with an Athorian mouth wrote these words because those aren't meant to be said with someone with one tongue.
so I was told to come here and put this in people. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Is people the right word?
Yes, yes.
People.
The Athorians are people.
People.
Okay.
Humanoids.
And to
So-
the sick.
They're sentient.
You're here to sick the sick.
Yep.
As
Okay.
the camera swings back as people are like desperately reaching out and offering arms and legs, saying, "Me next, please." The camera swings down the hallway as we see the medical attendant. He totally punches in a couple numbers on the attache's door. The door pops open, a little quarantine hologram pops up saying, "Are you sure you want to cross?" And he hits a button and it goes away. And he says, "He's in here."
I follow.
And
Kind of
then
walk in and kind of like go straight to him.
you see that there's 4 Athorians kind of racked up in some cots, and they all seem sick in different stages. They've each got IVs going to them. And he says, "The attaché is right there." And he points out to the guy who you totally recognize immediately, except his condition has gotten a little worse. And he's over on a cot with an IV, which you didn't quite see before, but that could have totally been hidden from the view screen. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna walk up to him and say, "Hello, I'm here to give you the medicine you need."
And you get a response of a series of coughs. Go ahead
Okay.
and inject him and give me a medicine roll.
I expected you to say that.
It's going to be the same difficulty. Okay. Apparently the dice are being real cursnippity tonight. So what would you like?
It's like they're talking to me in German.
What would you like for your one advantage as you inject him and he looks up at you for a second and reaches and kind of like hands, feels the force field on your face as a gentle thank you, and then he passes out.
Can I ride on the idea behind Castuk's advantage and have enough medicine on me to help the other 3 people in here?
Okay, immediately his family members are like, "Thank you, you're a space angel. You brought the vaccines to us," and they all gladly give you a limb to put the needle to.
Oh, and I can use my sparkly eyes at them if they're calling me an angel.
Yeah. Look, she has eyes like the stars. You're hallucinating, Anja. You're hallucinating.
Just wink.
You do have stars in your eyes. And as you guys are administering shots as quickly as you can, from the window in the room that Castox is in, give me a vigilance check. It's going to be hard because you're working right now and inoculating people.
Okay.
Holy snaky! So you hear some noise outside, and you're only on like the 3rd floor, so you can clearly go over where somebody's by the window and look out the window, and you can see with just the 4 successes, not counting the other stuff yet, and you'll take 1 strain as you like exhaustingly stab somebody with a hypo, and then you look over. You see the 3 vehicles have parked between this building's entrance and your ship. And out of the 3 vehicles has disgorged about 7 to 8 guys with guns and medical-looking outfits. They totally look like the weapons are of the stun persuasion, but they're using their vehicles as like a semicircle of cover between anyone coming off the ship or anyone coming out of the building that you're currently in.
Okay.
And what would you like for your triumph? Big damn triumph.
We can
I
successfully
would like
jump.
to. I'd like to have the governor tell the corporate sectors or the corporate security to stand down.
Ooh, I like that.
To stand down and disengage from the ship.
So immediately, you go over to the governor and you give him that classic 50s slap to get him cognitive. Governor, and he like, what?
Just say these words.
My son
Uh,
is, and you've come back to us. Look, wife, our son has returned.
the words are Vortex Medical, stand down and leave that ship alone. Just say those words in the microphone or on the hollow projector.
And he kind
Hollow
of
projector's more successful.
he straightens up and he hits the you totally hit the hollow projector button where he gives announcements from bed. And all of a sudden the hollow projector pops up and you see like 3 different stations. The little holograms pop up all at once automatically because it's the emergency broadcast station, because it's a Triumph. And he looks kind of groggily at you, and what do you help with? Probably the help of your influence on top of it. What do you have him say?
Vortex Medical, stand down and leave the ship alone. It has carried the vaccine to help save our people.
Citizens of Hithor 2 and members of our medical friends that have come to learn of our ways. And he kind of like groggily does the... Make sure all members, including our colleagues from Vortex MedCorp, do not accost the ship that has landed, for they have brought us life-saving vaccines. And he kind of looks at you and makes this almost weak old man smile from his current condition, as he's
I'll
just
give him
like,
thumbs
I
up.
do good.
Good. You can pass that now.
And as you say that, he you click the button off, and he kind of oozes back into the pillow and. And you kind of glance out the window real quick, and you notice the Duro that you were speaking with. It's kind of like barking orders, but the guys with the stun rifles are like pointing at your ship and pointing at like the public display that popped up of the governor saying, "Hey, leave the ship alone." And they're kind of confused out there. You see, there's definitely some dissension in the ranks when you're looking out the window.
Wahaha.
And just about that time, your pilot, Aurora, shows up after inoculating her people as you're looking out the window. You totally look like Bruce Willis looking out the window saying, "Welcome to the party."
Now the governor tell them to leave our ship alone. It looks like most of them are listening, but there's some dissension. Do you want to go down there and try to smooth it over?
Smooth it over. Run them over. I do kind of feel like, do we have enough medical droids that we can start a distribution center? Because I think the only way to stop these guys in their tracks is to pass out all the medicine before they can get their hands on it.
Ooh. Are you going to approach some of the little, nurse droids that are here?
Yes.
I mean, they have, 1 rank in medicine, so they could at least administer shots to everybody. They can only carry like 4 or 5 at a shot, though.
Well, how many do we got in the building?
Nurse droids, if you collect both the ones that you both seen, you'd have at least 8 of them.
Okay, do we have a list of the infected?
Basically everyone in town. People's doors say quarantine if they're sick inside, so it's pretty obvious everybody needs it eventually. Thankfully, there's
Okay.
only 600 people here. You have 900 injectors.
Okay, so then can we collect those nurse droids and say, all right, we're gonna go to the ship, and you guys are we're gonna start a little, just like a little assembly line, and go to people's houses. Just one at a time. Every household. Hey, here's the vaccine. Let's get you feeling better, and me and Castox can. Well, probably one of us should stay at the ship, and one of us should go kind of like guard the nurses from a distance. And then like the ones that are healthy enough to come to us, we can have them come to whoever stays at the ship and just get this vaccination going.
Okay. Someone, and by someone, one of you two, give me a leadership role as you're trying to coordinate these droids to do exactly that. This would be a great
Okay.
use of leadership. And it brings balance
I
back
have
to the
2
force.
green.
Oh crap. It'd be on you because I can't use my. So I'm normally good at leadership, but only on humans because I use the
Okay.
force to help influence people.
Got
So this is gonna be on you.
Just a little nudge.
And this is why I don't like droids. They don't listen to me.
How dare you put your programming before getting what I want done?
Yep.
Well, and we are talking to nurse droids, so it makes sense that they will want to help.
That's
All right,
a
I'm
good
rolling.
argument. I will totally give you a blue dice if you'd like to roll a single blue dice.
Do I know how to do that?
So at the top of your character sheet, you'll see a blue square, a green triangle, and a yellow
thingamajiggy?
pentagon. Go ahead on the blue square, click the number 0 that's there, and you'll see up and down arrows will pop up when you wave your mouse there. Click that up to 1, and then click outside the box, like anywhere in the white on your character sheet. And then click the D20 looking symbol in the middle of your dice pool. This is a test. It's a good test.
Oh, I just
There
did it
you
a
go.
bunch.
So with your
Wow, I see one
3
success is the last
assists, I will give you the 1 success, which means you're 0 and an advantage. As the droids look kind of confused at each other, and they're just like, they don't understand what you're trying to say. They're confused.
They don't understand deliver medicine?
They're very simple. Maybe they only speak binary or Thorian.
Okay.
That red dice was really nasty to you.
Okay. Well then,
Maybe you need just an access code. Maybe that's the problem. It doesn't recognize your MPI number as a doctor.
okay. Can I ask the guy who brought us up in the elevator how to like
Ooh,
communicate with these
that's a good one.
droids?
Okay. So you basically explained to him what you were just trying to tell the droids, and they're just like, we don't get it, as they're looking at each other with hand gestures saying, I don't understand. And you tell it to him, you totally grab him by the lapel and say, I'm trying to get your droids to give the medicine away. He's like, oh, is that what you're trying to do? Oh, well, in that case, let me assist. And he goes over to the control pad, he puts in his code, and he says, try again, my dear. Try one more time. And he's giving you a free upgrade because he has 1 rank in leadership himself, and a blue dice because he's giving you his access codes. Would you like
Okay.
to roll again on leadership?
Sure. Are all the thingies ready for me to press the button?
All the thingies are ready, unless you want to spend that light side in the destiny pool to upgrade your ability one more time. Do you really want to succeed?
I do really want to succeed.
Then on the character sheet at the very top in the destiny pool area,
Use
if
the
you
light
click
side.
use light side, I will give you a second upgrade. And I will not even say the words I'm thinking because I don't want to jinx you.
Don't you dare jinx me.
It's ready when
All
you
right,
are.
leadership. Okay.
Yeah, the droid's dumb.
As the droids kind of look at each other still, and they're like, "But we don't get what you're saying. We do not have syringe hands. We have paddle hands."
So what we have here is a failure to communicate.
And all of these droids are like wop 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 wop, and they're all having this congress together. Like, whatever you're saying is genius. We don't understand a word of it, but it sounds really interesting and intense. And the poor medical guy is just like, I don't think these droids are smart enough to carry out your complex plan, but it sounds like a very interesting plan.
Complex. Go to people's houses and go pew pew.
Where is the so if we can't use these droids, where is a spot we can take the ship to, which has the capability to distribute the vaccines?
Yeah, I guess where's the town center, or like how many houses are in this neighborhood by the governor?
There's quite a few houses, but wait, that's for your 2 advantage. He will totally tell you where the local emergency medical center is, where their medical professionals should be.
Okay.
We just need to get your ship, and I can point you the way.
Okay, let's head down there.
Before we leave, is there any permissions or letter, like anything that you need
Badges.
to give us permission to give us access?
As
With
you say that, he's like, I have an idea, and he barges past the butler droid to go into the governor's room, and he comes out with this big, bulky chain that's obviously a it's a chain of
State.
office, and it has the insignia of a Thorian peace and love, and he's like, I will take the governor's chain to help get us assistance for here. Let us go! As he's slowly heading back to the lift.
Perfect.
Okay. We'll follow him.
You guys dive down the lift. He points the way to the door and says, you must get your ship ready. And as you come out, the Duros that you spoke with earlier is yelling at his people to point their weapons at you and stop you from getting on that ship. And the guards are basically like, kind of at the moment, they're on the cusp of, this sounds like official business we shouldn't get involved in, but Melko is telling us what to do. Would someone like to do something to break the stalemate? Or maybe make
I feel
things
like
worse?
Mr. I'm good with humans, not droids. This is as you.
Gloucester? Are you still there, Jim?
I'm still here. Are you there?
Okay. Yep.
We may have lost you momentarily.
Yep. There she is.
Welcome
So,
back.
yep. I will use my influence power to tell them that we found you again.
Woo!
Say, I'll use my influence power to tell them that to stand down. We have the approval of the governor to distribute the vaccines. Lower your weapons and allow us to do what's needed to be done to save the citizens of this planet.
Okay, so basically you're contesting his orders with your very influential orders that make total sense. Go ahead and take your shot.
Okay. So it's a contested discipline check.
Yep.
Versus the guards. And I have too many screens open.
And you succeeded with 1 success and an advantage and a whole bunch of light side points.
I was meaning to take 3 strain to add a light side point to the result. So I can have 5 light side points.
Holy crap.
So I can 1 to activate the power, 1 for range, and then 3 for magnitude. So I can affect 6, 7 people to have them believe what I'm saying is completely true.
Yeah, as immediately the guards are just like slinging their weapons back on their shoulder slings, and even
I'm done.
Nelko is kind of paused, and he like looks around kind of confused at the moment of like, why was I trying to do this? And he kind of steps forward and says, Captain Aurora, I'm sorry that I was trying to take the medical supplies from you. And he kind of like gestures to please go onto your ship.
I'm going. How tall is he?
He's a Duros. He's like 6'3". Little wiry
I
build,
am
top heavy head.
okay. I'm going to reach up and pat him on the head and say, the important thing is when it counts, you let us do what was right.
And the guards kind of like nod their heads of we're on the side that's doing what's right. Okay, so you guys heading to the medical station?
Take the ship over to the medical station.
You guys get
Yep.
there, and there's a bunch of, intern types with their masks on saying the place is quarantined, please don't come here, yada, yada, yada. What do you say to get past them? It's not going to be very difficult. When you show them crates of medicine.
We're here to find staff to help distribute the vaccine.
As one guy turns around and screams an Athorian bellow out, he's like, the vaccine is finally here! And you're, of course, thinking, finally here, asshole. We showed him a pretty decent time.
Right?
And
it wasn't for our droid getting us lost.
We won't talk about that.
As immediately they come over and they start grabbing the crates and popping them open and start handing out handfuls of the ampules.
Like, hold on, guys. How many people are here that need the vaccine?
Quite a few, and they start like throwing vaccines to each other to start stabbing people and get going. Give me either. I will take a charm, coercion, or leadership from one of you guys for organizing the folks. You got a blue dice because you got the vaccine.
I can do.
You said you're really good with leadership with people, right?
I'm okay with leadership with people. I'm really good with coercion. So.
Okay. I say go for it because I am only 2 greens for both of them.
You're going to use your special intuition to make them all work together flawlessly.
Yep. So I'll use my force to help influence them. If you don't listen to our directions fully, lives will be cost, and it'll be on your head. Now go!
Oh! Listen to what he says, and you hear people start talking back and forth to each other of, he knows what's going on.
You're totally a doctor, right?
I'm doing what I was told. 7 successes.
He's not a doctor, but he stayed at a Best Western once, and it gave him the force.
Yep.
It's really because the Best Western had the metachlorines in the walls.
So I can use my light side points for either successes or advantages. So whatever's better, 7 successes or 4 successes and 3 advantages.
Okay, so for the more successes, you get them working as a crack team.
Okay.
And the advantages, if you want to use advantage, would be they're moving faster.
No, faster sounds better.
Okay. So they're working like a well-oiled machine as they're like, we need to get these out to the people in the streets, stat! And all of a sudden, like, two interns whip out with a small little hover vehicle, and, you know, they throw a couple crates in there and say, you go to neighborhood, and they totally look back at you for direction. And you totally give them a direction. You know, it's a big round donut of a city, so if you just start in the other half and work your way clockwise, you could get half the city and half the city done in no time. And they like that idea because, you know, it's like following the sun's rising and setting. They get that stuff. As they, in quick short order of only a few, in this case 5 hours, managed to inoculate every man, woman, and child. Hopefully the ones that are in the final stages will make it through. You guys are rallied as heroes. And let me check something out real quick. As the governor recovers, as well as his attaché, because that's what we use those two advantages for. And you guys are basically told to quarantine for 5 days to make sure you did not get exposed. And do me a favor, each of you guys, I'm going to give you an upgrade and a blue. Give me a resilience check.
Okay. Are you ready, or should I go?
You can both go at the same time. It's the same difficulty.
Oh.
Unless somebody wants to use a light side point.
If she already rolled, I'll take a light side point.
As Aurora gets too strained because she's worried about getting sick at every moment. And I didn't get your upgrade in there. But it looks like we don't need it.
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
The second upgrade. Okay, yeah. I just got a lot of threat, so.
As, you know, you guys are both exhausted because you're working through the night. You're totally doing the war nurse field work of helping supply people and jump in there, roll up your sleeves and help. Thankfully, you guys have all successes, so you didn't have to worry about contracting the disease at all because of your protective equipment. Who knew the PPE works? It's not just potential.
And our little shots helped too.
Yep, and your little shots.
Perfectly timed shot.
If you had caught it, would have given you a boost to your second resilience check. This was just to see if you were exposed accidentally. And nobody was exposed because of your protective garments. As you guys manage to dispense the medicine, the people that recover are more than the ones that do not recover. You guys have a little hollow parade where there's all these holographic citizens giving cheers for you guys. As you have successfully completed your mission and completely changed the beliefs of a certain medical corporation tech that was on planet, who you found out later through talking with him that he was planning on getting the medical supplies and then making a deal to sell them to the city.
What a butthead. Of course he was. And I'm glad we changed his mind, because we would have had to shoot him in his toe.
You totally gave him a second thought to this horrible plan, as he realized that that was a horrible thing to do, people.
But the most important thing is, did we get a song? I forgot the name of the planet that we're on.
Thorian
not
2.
Canton, so they don't sing.
That's what they're calling the colony, is Thorian 2.
It's not a good name for a song. The hero of Thorian 2. It just doesn't flow. All right, well.
Well, there's
someday.
The two heroes of Thorian 2.
As you know, you guys at the end of your 5 days of quarantine, after you experience no conditions, the governor's on a big giant hologram that's floating over your ship, as he's basically in a Thorian thanking you all for everything that you've done and the fact that you've saved the floating city. And if it was not for your brave actions of breaking the quarantine and coming into the city, who knows how long it could have taken for the citizens to bring the life-saving medicines into the city if you were parked outside off of the actual city itself. Who came up with that plan, says the governor. He doesn't know. That was a horrible plan. Someone should lose their job.
It was my idea. You want to fire me? Go for it. I was paid to get you guys safe, and now you're safe.
Well, he's referring to whoever's going to have you park outside the city and then have them transport you with the drugs. Your move was so much more intelligent and so much more organic to fight the flow of the virus.
That was my plan.
I don't remember whose plan that was. I think.
It was the.
It was the attaché when he was sick.
Yeah.
It was a hallucinogenic plan. It wasn't a real plan.
Don't hold it against him.
As you know, you guys have this group of Athorian children singing the song of how you saved an entire generation, and that those that recover will have to name their first planted tree after you as a symbol of the life that you gave back to them. Because Athorians love their gardening.
Oh, the Aurora tree. I like it. And the
Castox
tree.
Doesn't sound as cool as the Aurora tree, but
No, that would sound like it'll make you sick.
maybe mine could be a fruit tree.
The Aurora tree is this beautiful apple-like tree that gives healing fruit, and then the Castox tree is some thorny bush that has mildly poisonous thorns.
But that's the funny. Poison could be used as an antidote if you know what you're doing.
There you go. And before you guys take off after passing your quarantine, and the good doctor gets on the video and he thanks you guys for what you and the Starburn have done. You have saved countless lives in delivering this medicine. And I was able to even get you a small bonus.
Ooh.
Only a small bonus? Wow.
A small bonus. Wow, that was a small bonus. Those are some bad rolls, people. In the amount of 600 extra credits from the Republic Doctors Without Borders.
600?
An additional 600 credits.
Okay.
And the Athorians will be giving you 15 med kits.
Oh, hold on. Crap on a stick. It took me so long to find the right place.
And 5 doses of healing herbs, which is basically the equivalent of a stem. Basically, it's the organic version.
You said 15, but you wrote 10.
Sorry, I did say 15, didn't I?
Yes.
Let me correct that. Fortunately, I can't edit once it's in there, but I can copy paste.
Okay.
As the cities are filled with the healthiest people celebrating your exit from the city. There you go.
There we go. All right. 1450 is yours out of what we made.
And you guys get 20 experience points for saving countless lives and not giving into corporate greed. And luckily not getting lost for 1 extra day, because that would have affected your experience and your payout.
Okay.
And your morality of how well you did.
You'd be like, well, you detoured across the galaxy. I guess you eventually decided to show up. Oh, don't worry.
Oy vey.
We have more
Tell you it's all the
vaccines
drugs' fault.
available because less people are alive.
Ouch. Not only are we actual big damn heroes, we also change the mind of a money-hungry butthead.
You did. Milko was gonna cash in on this natural disaster, and you guys kind of corrected him.
All thanks to the Force.
Thanks to the Force, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
Who said mind control's a bad thing?
I think
What?
most people say it's a bad thing.
What mind control? Your friend is just very persuasive.
Yeah. Oh no! On the old one, or on the last adventure, I was going to show people how much it's not just me being persuasive. When I was going to have the bounty that we're targeting act like a chicken, just to show, so I could show you guys how powerful it is. But then other things happen. So, like I said, that's why I don't like droids because my powers don't work on them. So I don't trust them.
Droids look at each other when you try to use your power, and they go, "Hey, look, he thinks he's a Jedi."
Why is he wiggling his finger? He looks stupid.
I'm 5% battle droid on my maker's side.
All right. Well, if it's over, then I will head out and head to bed.
All right, and look at
Alrighty.
that. We're done 20 minutes early. That's being efficient.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually get 15 minutes or so early bedtime.
Woohoo!
Yes, not at all 15 extra minutes of reading time.
I mean, I'm going to stay up and read some stuff.
Yes.
I'll probably be up for a little bit just cause, but then I'll be going to bed.
I mean, you got to have a post-game wind down. And then we totally got to give the gambler and the marshal crap.
Yep. I saw somebody said that they forgot about it. Fish.
Oh, that
David.
would be David.
Yep. Said he forgot
Be
about
my
it.
handy dandy mechanic. He
Yep.
was off getting late or something.
He was busy working on the ship.
He was working, that's for sure. He was working it.
All right. Well, have a good night, guys. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Alright,
See
bye.
you guys. Let me double check real quick. 2 weeks is November the 6th.
Yes.
So I don't think there's anything wacky, crazy, or anything like that happening in November, thank God. Except for, like, the Turkey Day.
If it was only the 5th, then we could remember the 5th of November.
Remember. That's when your Star Wars game is going to be happening, because the 5th is Tuesday.
It does, if I'm looking at this, I don't know if Thanksgiving is, okay, so the 20th is the week before our game, so this game is before the week of Thanksgiving, so we're good.
Yep, I was double checking that too. I'm like, nope, that's not Thanksgiving week, so thank God. So the 6th and the 20th should be a good and a go.
Christmas.
And what?
We do have, we skipped the Christmas week too.
Oh, see, we planned it that way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. New Year's Day is supposed to be our game, so we'll see if any of us have social lives, but
I'm thinking it's probably going to be a skip day, at least for me, because I'll be up until at least 3 or 4 that day. But you never know. We'll throw it out there on the day of if anybody's still alive or if everybody's hungover.
I can guarantee that I will not be hungover, but
what?
Maybe I'll just want to stay in bed. It'll be fine.
I mean, you never know with life changes happening over at your neck of the woods.
That is, I might not want to socialize with people on my computer. I might try the whole in-person thing.
You may have, a midnight cuddle, happy New Year kiss. You never know.
Oh, I don't even know where the Mandalorian is going to be for New Year's. I should probably check that.
Alrighty, guys, we should call it a night. We're getting silly.
Yes, we are. All right, let's talk to you guys later.
Later, guys.